VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 772, recorded on January 26, 2026.
Hello, and welcome to the 772nd edition of the TD Gaming Podcast and 605th episode of Video Game Roundtable. I am TJ Denzer.
I'm Scott Dirk.
And I am Jonah Falcon.
The VGRT Gaming Podcast focuses on game news from around the industry and a gaming flashback.
I just realized it's kind of strange. It's sort of like Scott is the robot here because we talk, but his button just does that talk thing. Oh,
Oh yeah, like the flashy little
Yeah. Anyways, I'll begin with what I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of Marvel's Midnight Suns lately. The story is really good. I'm playing New Game Plus, and I'm trying to do some achievements.
Are you being good or are you being evil?
This time I'm being dark.
Yeah?
Because I want to get the full darkness thing.
The full dark abilities are pretty dang good.
They're okay. I also have Silent Hill F. I haven't played it yet, but I will at some point. And the Talos Principle 2 is on Game Pass, and so I'm going to get some achievements on it since I played it on Epic, but now I get to get achievements for it.
Nice.
Have you played any of the Talos Principle games?
I haven't. I've never made it around to them.
Oh, really? They're unusual. Like I said, I've said this like years ago, is that when you're playing the first one, you have to expect guys with two bombs in their hands to scream at you as they run over the hills, because those wide open plains look exactly like the kind of wide open plains that Serious Sam has when those bomb guys come. You know, the screaming bomber guys.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's interesting because Talos Principle is a puzzle game, much like our gaming Flashback, but we're not going to get to that just yet. I'm also still doing City Skylines 2. And, it's solid. I'm doing some alternative maps, and some of them are really strange. Like, the one that's Ithaca is so cramped, it's almost impossible to make anything in it. So, DJ, what have you been playing?
The biggest thing I've probably been playing lately is Animal Crossing. I jumped in. I hadn't played it before, and really, I haven't played any Animal Crossing.
You haven't played Animal Crossing before?
I heard,
None of them.
heard that they did an update adding Zelda stuff.
They did. They added a bunch of it's update 3.00, and that's the free update. They also did a Nintendo Switch Upgrade Edition. The free update adds the Zelda stuff, and it got like a lot of quality of life things like bulk crafting. You can take something and craft a stack of 10 of it at once, which wasn't there before. And similarly, they put in this like thing. It's a grid movement system where if you hold a button, it'll like put you in place facing one direction, and then you can sidestep, or you can move forward or back. And it really helps with like planting flowers and trees and making sure that you get your stuff into the right position the first time. And it's like, wow, these are things that came along almost 6 years after the game came out, and I wouldn't want to play the game without them.
Oh, just get the whale shark. You're done.
Like it playing through it as I have and seeing what it has to offer, it really does drive home why it's probably the king of cozy games. They do an incredible job with vibes in that game, and I have been enjoying like kind of relaxing at the end of a day and maintaining my island and checking on my villagers and seeing how things are shaping up.
I'm trying to figure out if City Skylines is a cozy game or not. Sometimes it gets me
I think so, yeah.
Sometimes it gets me stressed out, though.
Yeah, it can be stressful, but I think like it generally is a pretty relaxing thing to assemble your city in Skylines. Managing their problems is less fun, but
sometimes they bitch about things that I really can't control. Yeah, the city's noisy. Well, yeah. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, you have a street there that's making noise. There's nothing I can do about that.
The city is a city.
I can keep the industry away from you, but the noise is going to be there. I love the way people keep on bitching about bicyclists getting in their way now. You have to create those bike paths, and then that doesn't always help. But my cozy game, I think that I go to is Dwarf Romantic still. Have you ever played Dwarf Romantic?
No, but I've seen it, so much of it. It looks fun.
it's one of those cozy games that is hardcore. You can play it, but if you want a high score, you need to be peak.
Hmm.
So, Scott, we all know what you've been playing because you said when we last week, it's like, oh, but I'm gonna have to interrupt playing it, and now we've
Yeah.
given you all the time in the world to play it.
Oh, I've been playing it ever since it came out. I've been playing Trials Beyond Horizon. They've added stuff to the combat, like an awakening stat where you're like supercharged and you can also slow down time and do a lot more attacks in rapid succession. And and it also has stuff in turn based where you can get 2 turns in a row by activating this ability as well. And they have a new corridor thing called the Grim Castle, which of course has a nice medieval dark castle theme throughout the place. And you're seeing these different, I guess, roguelike dungeon where the levels change. So that way you can just keep playing it and have a different level each time, different enemies. And the story, of course, is fun too because they're also doing this phase now where they're launching a spaceship into space and they're trying to uh, see if they can do stuff up in space and see what is going on the continent better. There's a lot of intrigue happening too with the characters, so I'm having a lot of fun with it.
So we do have a gaming flashback this week. Speaking of the Talos Principle, TJ, take it away.
Gaming flashback. The Witness. The Witness is a 2016 puzzle video game developed. Oh, sorry, your name is blocking. The Witness is a 2016 puzzle video game developed and published by Thekla Incorporated. Inspired by Myst, the game involves the exploration of an open-world island filled with natural and man-made structures. The player progresses by solving puzzles, which are based on interactions with grids presented on panels throughout the island, around the island, or paths hidden within the environment. No direct instructions are provided for solving these puzzles, requiring the player to identify the meaning of symbols in the puzzles. A central design element was how these puzzles are presented so that the player can achieve a moment of inspiration through trial and error and gain that comprehension themselves. Announced in 2009, The Witness had a lengthy development period. Jonathan Blow, the game's lead designer, started work on the title in 2008, shortly after releasing Braid. The financial success of Braid allowed him to hire a larger production team without ceding creative control over the final project. To create the game's visual language, the team developed their own game engine and retained artists, architects, and landscape architects to design the structures on the island. This required a protracted development process, and release was delayed from 2013 to 2016. Blow desired to create a game around nonverbal communication, wanting players to learn from observation and to come to epiphanies, and finding solutions and leading to a greater sense of involvement and accomplishment with each success. The game includes around 650 puzzles, though the player is not required to solve all of them to finish the game. The Witness was released for Windows and PlayStation 4 in January 2016, with later versions released for Xbox One, Nvidia Shield, Mac OS, and iOS. Original plans for release on PS3 and Xbox 360 were abandoned as the game engine became more demanding, and the team ultimately opted for an initial release on Windows and the PS4, with the support of other platforms following. The Witness received generally favorable reviews from critics, who praised the art, setting, and difficult but surmountable puzzles. Over 100,000 copies were sold within a week of release, which was about as many copies as Braid had done within a year of its release, recouping nearly all development costs.
Yeah, I actually, I noticed that I actually had The Witness in my game library that was downloaded. Here's the problem I have with The Witness. There's absolutely no sound. None. And you start to notice it like 10 minutes in. It becomes oppressive, the non-sound.
Like not even sound effects?
Very, very, very few sound effects. It's just quiet. and it doesn't really feel like Myst. It feels like something else. Now the puzzles are all the same kind of puzzle for the most part.
Oh yeah, I think I remember this now. It's like a variation of one kind of puzzle, and then they just make it more complex as you go along.
So I did not know this when I was writing the podcast notes, but Jonathan Blow doesn't really make a lot of games. He made Braid, then he made Witness, and he has a game coming out this year called Order of the Sinking Star. It's going to be another puzzle game with over 1,000 puzzles. It was announced at the Game Awards. I didn't watch, so I didn't really see it. You know anything about it, DJ?
Which one?
Order of the Sinking Star.
I've heard the name, but I don't know much about it.
Well, it's the new game that Jonathan Blow is making. It has 1,000 puzzles in it. It doesn't look much like, it looks a lot different than The Witness, because it actually has people in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a narrative adventure.
Yeah, I knew he was working on something new, but I hadn't followed along with it very much.
Yeah. So that's basically, he makes very few games, far in between. It'll be interesting to see how this one is received, because there was a lot of hype around The Witness when it was first announced. There isn't much hype around Order of the Sinking Star. And obviously there isn't, because neither of you really know anything about it, even though it was in the Game Awards commercials.
I guess I missed that one. I do like puzzle games.
Oh, I know, Mr. Professor Layton.
Well, yeah, that's just one of them. There's another one. Last Call BBS. That guy makes really complicated puzzles.
This one seems to be more in the line of a Professor Layton game, because you have people moving around on the thing. So hopefully, it's supposed to be story driven. The Witness opted to do story by environment.
There's something about this that makes me think of like a. It makes me think of that riddle of getting a fox, a chicken, and a mouse across a river. Like that's what these puzzles look like to me.
Yeah. But I don't mind puzzle games. I mean,
it does look like it has an interesting puzzle style. I like the art.
The art is nice.
Well, I mean, the art, despite it being really, really, quiet game, the art in The Witness was kind of cartoony but real. It had that aesthetic.
Uh,
My Steam suggestion says it looks similar to Jedi Fallen Order and Tunic.
Tunic I can kind of see. Jedi Fallen Order is a bit of a stretch.
You know what it reminds me of, actually? Do you remember those mini games that were like Star Wars, the mini game, in which all it was these tiny little games, like you had to move Yoda around these spaces and solve the puzzles that way? I forgot the name of them, but they had these mini puzzle games.
And
they were always randomly generated. And I don't remember it. One of them was Puzzle Droid? No, that wasn't it. But it was like early Windows stuff too. Really old. It was like early 1990s. So anyways, for the quick news, Vampire Crawlers is getting a PC and Xbox demo on February 23rd. I'm interested because it's taking Vampire Survivors in an all new direction. And not the one that people thought it would. It made fun of that. People thought it was going to be Vampire Survivors in 3D. Nope. It's just an RPG that does the same quick combat that Vampire Survivors does.
Yeah, I was looking at the gameplay the other day, and it's like it's not even like a first person RPG, but it is like it has the vibe of like a wizardry game, but also like ridiculous and fast paced and
yeah, that's
chaotic.
The thing. It's like taking Vampire Survivors and just saying, "Hey, you want to play a 1990s style dungeon crawler? Well, here we go."
Yeah. Like the turbo mode where you just launch every card you have in order at rapid succession is fun to watch.
Well, it's sort of like what late in, like in the 28th minute of Vampire Survivors, when you have all these abilities just going off at once, and the entire screen is just a mess of you wrecking all the creatures around you. And
Yeah.
I was able to many times now get to the point in which you kill death, and you keep killing death. So you have to get Uber death to finally put you down. Anyways, one of the things that popped up, and I'm glad. For those of you wondering, we haven't had a podcast in 3 weeks, and the reason why we didn't do it last week was because TJ was sick.
Yeah.
But little did I know that the Xbox Developer Direct happened, and there was some major news in that thing. 3 games that were really, really hyped, and we're going to talk about them. And by the way, all of them have gotten really positive reactions. So the first one is Forza Horizon 6. And everybody seems to think the same thing. It's amazing.
Yeah. I think that did you see that they showed off that you're going to be able to do multiplayer creation mode in this one? Like you're going to be able to build stuff together and co-op real time? Like that seems dope. Like the creations that they did in Forza Horizon 5 were already dope, and people being able to do that kind of like in tandem sounds even more dope.
Yeah, the locations are all being hyped up. Apparently Tokyo is the biggest city that they've done in the Forza series.
Yes, and they're talking, and they keep saying like, I want to see like the map because they keep saying it's like all of Japan.
Well, they have that snow corridor, which looks fake. It looks like, oh, that's too video gamey. That thing exists in real life. Google it. You know that part in which they're in that path through the snow, and the snow is like 60 feet tall? You know, it's like just a narrow, curving corridor. It's real. Everybody was excited like 9 seconds in when they saw the Daikaku. However you pronounce it. For those who don't know, it's a meeting place in Japan where people just come with their cars and they just have informal car shows.
Yeah, and I saw that they have those dumpy little pickup trucks that they I don't know. Like, I know that the whole point is to get a muscle car that can go super fast, but the idea of riding around and racing in those dumpy little trucks sounds actually pretty appealing.
Well, you know that there's a new mode in the game in which you can actually do drag races.
Yeah.
Have drag races in those dumpy trucks. Have everybody, the 12 people side by side in dumpy trucks, and they're like, it's going 20 miles an hour. Woo! Yeah. All the major Japanese brands, except for one that wasn't shown was Subaru. People were wondering about that. And again, Subaru doesn't make that many racing cars, but still, it's a notable omission. Of course, they also have the Alfa Romeos, which are not Japanese, but they're going to have all kinds of cars.
Yep.
Most of the focus is on the cars, and everybody I forgot what the cover car is. They made a big deal about it. Forza Horizon 6 cover car. But yeah. It's the GR and Toyota vehicles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But anyways, yeah, and one other thing about all three, well, not Kiln, but Forza, Fable, and Beast of Reincarnation are all going to be on PlayStation. Beast of Reincarnation is a third party, so that's not surprising. Forza and Fable are going to be on PlayStation, but not on day one, though.
It sounds like Fable might be. Forza was definitely said to be coming later because they gave Xbox a concrete date.
Yeah, probably November 2026. I mean, Forza Horizon 6 is coming out in May 2026. May 19th, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 months later is November.
Right. All I'm saying is that, like, for Fable, they didn't make that differentiation yet. They just said that it's coming to every platform in autumn. So you could be right. They still could do the day one Xbox and then pitch PlayStation further down the season. But it sounds like they'll all be coming out or Fable at least will be coming to all of them in fall.
Yeah, I do see it on Steam. I can wishlist it.
Well, before we do Fable, we'll continue talking about Forza. For those who don't know, Forza Horizon 5 was the #1 seller on PlayStation last year. So it has a presence, and one of the reasons why it's going to be multi-platform is obviously there's going to be DLC and season passes.
Yeah, and the tail of content on Forza Horizon is quite long. So I like between the stuff that you're talking about, the DLC, the creative community content, it'll be fun to have a wider ecosystem. So
and
quickly.
What's funny is that when you do the that area for riders to meet, you can walk around and check other people's cars. You can copy the decals. You can even buy a copy of their car if you like it. There's gonna be a lot of events in it, and I don't know. There's some people who complain about Forza Horizon 5 and some of the stuff in it. Those same people seem to react that a lot of the problems they had with Forza Horizon 5 are fixed in Forza Horizon 6. So let's talk about Fable. The one thing that's
you don't want to save that for last and work on Beast of Reincarnation.
We can talk about the other stuff. No, we're going to go in order. So one thing that surprised me about Fable is, remember that trailer, the very first trailer, which had that enormous guy, that giant?
Yeah, Richard Ayoda.
Yeah, it's actually a part of the game. It's not. It's actually a plot quest, because you have this farmer who eats this stuff that turns him into a giant, and you have to fight him. And you have a choice. You can either kill him or leave him alive. If you kill him, his corpse remains on the land, splayed across around the land, affecting land value. Obviously, you don't want a dead, decomposing human on your land. So that really surprised me. That's actually going to be in the game.
That would be crazy business if he actually decomposed throughout the game and like got stankier and rottier as the campaign continues.
Yeah.
For the first time, you're able to make your own character. Before, you was always assigned a character. In the first one, you're always the same boy. In the second and third, you can be male or female, but they're always the same, male and female. This one, you can completely customize your character. And now, morality is a little bit different. Instead of just good and evil, you get tags like you're wealthy.
The thing I hope is that you don't age into an old man after an hour of playing.
Well, no. Oh, wait a minute. Were you using a lot of magic?
Yeah.
That ages you. That's why you become an old man. When you use magic in Fable, it ages you.
Yeah, I hated that. It was like...
That's the cost of using will. You're burning up your will.
I guess I am.
So, I don't know if that's going to be a mechanic, but now people will hate you if you're not evil. They just think you're rich and spoiled.
Yeah, the amount of stuff they showed off as far as the social networking goes in this game was easily the most exciting part to me. I didn't really have any feelings for Fable up to this point because it's just like they've been kicking that idea around for years and it never felt really all that concrete to me until now. And like the combat here looked okay. I wasn't like floored by it. Yeah, it did look like Fable combat, and I think it's kind of mid to my opinion.
Remember, this is like Sonic Team. This team who's doing Fable are Fable fans.
Right. But once they got to the part where we started talking about social construct, like economics, business, and then consequences, like...
That was always a part of Fable, but
I know, but the extent to which they're talking about, like they said over 1,000 NPCs that you can affect in this game. And I don't know that I expect that every one of them is going to be super original or particularly unique, but that's still a lot of characters.
I think they're all going to be unique because guess what? They spent so much time on this game.
Yeah, that's another thing is that they've been at this for a long time, and I wonder if
you said something about it being open world.
Mhm.
Yeah. So before we get to that, I wonder how many people are going to decide. You know what? I'm going to murder every single person in the game just to see what happens.
Yeah, you can. I know you could do that in the past, and then
Yeah.
you could just make ghost towns.
Of course, in Fable 2, if you pick the selfish one, everybody died anyway. In Fable 3, I mean. So yeah. And the way the story is that you're the first hero in a generation. So, and you can your mentor is going to be the last hero.
Hmm. I wonder if they're going to find a way to bring Reaper back again.
Reaver?
Is that the
Yeah.
guy we shot in 2?
No, that's the guy who shot the bad guy. If you didn't
Oh,
if you
okay.
didn't shoot the bad guy in 2, he was the one who said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Were you?" Because I got
He-
bored and I just shot the bad guy.
He's the hero of skill, and he's always a wretchedly horrible person. He's also immortal, so like he has a curse that keeps him alive.
Yeah. Well, no, he has a curse in which he has to sacrifice people to keep himself young.
Mm-hmm. And he happily does that.
Yeah. But the thing is about him is that in Fable 3, he's always picking the evil selection, or at least the least popular selection.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, if you pick the good version of the things, he always seems to manage to find a profit in it anyway. you save the lake. Well, he says, well, guess what? I decided to do a tourist thing, and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, no matter what, he makes money. No matter what you do.
Yep. He is he's Fable's unrepentant Tom Nook.
Although, you know, for me, it's different. I actually like Hammer best.
Hammer's awesome.
I mean, the thing is that the thing that makes me like Hammer a lot is that she becomes a fighter out of rage, but at the end of the game, she's like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to fight things anymore. I got all the rage out of my system. I just want to retire. She knows she's big and she knows she's strong. She knows she can crush people with her fist. But by the end of the game, she's like, I
don't want to.
I don't want it anymore. It's tiresome. You know, I'm over my issues.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Fable looks really good. And now Kiln. This was extremely unexpected and also very, very Double Fine. You watch the trailer for Double Fine knowing nothing about it, you'll say, yeah, that's Double Fine. This is Double Fine being weird again. And this time, they're doing the, oh God, who was the people who did Alien Hominid and Castle Crashers?
Oh, that's the Behemoth.
Right. This time they're doing their best the Behemoth impression and doing a multiplayer battle game.
Mm-hmm.
Except you create your own pottery with a pottery wheel, and then you give it eyes and feet, and you go attack other pottery. In a game that's sort of like League of Legends, except for pottery. You're trying to douse the other kiln with water.
Yep. And in that regard, like the pottery that you make actually matters because like it actually affects how much water you can carry.
It also affects how you walk, how fast you can walk. You know, you can make a mug.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fast, but it's not going to carry a lot of water. But the thing is that you actually have to create it with your own hands, right? And what comes out is photorealistic. The thing that isn't photorealistic are the googly eyes that are placed on the feet.
Yeah. And this was one of their Double Fine does this.
That's what I was thinking of. Battle blocks.
Yeah, and this was one of Double Fine's. They do this thing every once in a while. It's called Amnesia Fortnite, where they just kind of drop everything they're doing and come up with game ideas for 2 weeks, and then pick somebody's idea and decide to try to extend it into a full game.
That's how I think Keeper came about. Because that screams of it too.
That is how Keeper came about. That's how Stacking and Costume Quest also came about.
Oh, there's the other game, Stacking, and there's also there's a similar game to Stacking, and I'm trying to remember what it is. But
I can't remember the one that's like Stacking, but I do. The Costume Quest was like a Halloween RPG.
I always liked that game. I thought it was neat.
Mm-hmm.
You get to rollerblade around the neighborhood, and it's just this really perfect Halloween autumn day, and you're trick or treating, and
You
that's
pick up the costumes, and they give
Yeah.
you different powers depending on what you got.
that was a cool game.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I forgot they did the cave.
Did they do that, or did they publish
They
it?
did. No, Sega published it.
Huh.
That was a good game too.
Yeah.
You get to see the different storylines of different people.
See, I think what you're doing though is you're confusing the cave with Loom, because that was LucasArts.
Maybe. Or I was thinking of Cave Story.
No, you had stacking and another game that was like stacking but not stacking. By the way, they also did the only really successful Connect for Kids game, Connect Party. That was the only one that got a lot of people who liked it. Headlander was the other game. Headlander, which was published by Adult Swim Games. That was the one in which you swapped heads or with other people.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Also, Massive Chalice, which I backed, but I seldom ever played. And I didn't know anything about it. And I said, oh, it's Double Fine's version of XCOM. But yeah. And you have to think that Keeper and Kill are being released while the main team is working on Psychonauts 3. By the way, did you know that Psychonauts was their very first game? I did not know that.
Yes. That was
I mean, I pre-ordered Psychonauts, and here's the thing. I actually saw the game being developed, not developed, but in 2004 at New York Game Labs. They showed me the game in progress, right? I said, I like it. I'm going to pre-order it. I must have been one of 3 or 4 people who ever pre-ordered that damn game. No one bought it. No one bought Psychonauts on first release.
Yeah.
And
I just remember a long time ago. The only reason I remember that Psychonauts was their first game is that I listened to an extensive podcast going through it, like from beginning to end, and digging into like the production of it, and it's fascinating. That game is fascinating how it came together.
But you know what my prize is? My pre-order bonus for Psychonauts was a Psychonauts deck of cards. Just still sealed in the wrap. I've never opened it. Just sort of like my marker of saying, hey, I pre-ordered Psychonauts in 2004 and got it in 2005. Beat that.
Wow.
I also pre-ordered a game that actually came with a copy of The Hobbit. I forgot what it was. But yeah. So Kiln looks really good. And this has the possibility to be something like Battle Blocks. One of those hack and slash games, one of those party games that last for like 10 years. Like Duck Game. So let's talk about the most unlikely game of the group, and that's Beast of Reincarnation. So
Yeah,
That's unlikely because that looked really good to me.
It's the unlikely thing is being made by Game Freak, the Pokemon people.
Yep, that is truly like, because when you look at it, it looks nothing like anything that they've made before, except for the part like where you have like they finally introduced the Pokemon element, which is this fox that kind of hangs out with you and can evolve over the course of the game, I guess.
Thought it was a cat like thing.
Maybe you're right.
It's just
Either way, it changes over the course of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
And you can equip it with like different abilities
sorry,
that
right.
like
A wolf. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
We were both wrong. But but it looked cool because as
It
it
does.
evolves, it gets different powers, it gets different abilities. You can take it in different directions, and it looked like it controlled the way that Pokemon Legends ZA does, where you're like actively moving around it and you still have agency to do
But by
your
the
own
way, they
stuff.
called it an expansive one-person, one-dog action RPG.
Yeah,
I definitely think I want to get this game. It looks very nice.
It's Dark Souls by Game Freak.
I really
But here's
like.
the thing. Here's the thing that have a lot of people salty. Today, they revealed that the team that's working on Beast of Reincarnation is a very small team. And people are thinking, wait a minute. And why the fuck does Pokemon Z to A look like a 2006 Newgrounds game? Because Beast of Reincarnation is beautiful. And it's sort of like, yeah, we can do graphics if we want to. We're just not going to do it for Pokemon.
Pokemon still has an aesthetic that they have to stick to.
No! You have 2D... You see in the textures, right?
If you came out with a Pokemon game that looked like Beast of Reincarnation, the fan base would be like, "What the fuck is this realism
they would say,
shit?"
Yeah, please.
You're probably right,
You want it
TJ,
to at least look like a Mario game.
but I think another issue is that maybe these devs are a little bit tired of Pokemon. I mean, it
They did
really
do another
feels long in the tooth.
Yes.
You know that Game Freak also did Lego Party.
Yeah.
Armidas.
But you get chained to a franchise for 20 years. You're gonna want more than 20 years. You're gonna want to do something else.
Yes.
I get it. I was just saying that, like, I think that Pokemon has a very certain kind of aesthetic, and
I agree.
If you can't really do
it would be like Dragon's Quest not using Tori's art anymore.
That is a hunk of bullshit. That is a hunk of bullshit because people like the upgrade in graphics from Super Mario 3D all the way to Galaxies to, for the current one. It's like, no.
I'm going to say this, having just played through all of Pokemon Legends ZA. That game looks pretty clean for what it is. It doesn't look
clean
like...
is a good word for it.
I suppose, but like...
Clean as in nothing there.
That's silly. Look, there's a difference in aesthetic where, like, Beast of Reincarnation is obviously a different aesthetic that goes for realism, and that works for that game. If you tried to apply that to... It looks
like ass. Come on.
If you tried to apply it to Pokemon, people would be really mad.
That is absolutely not true. And I can prove that by pointing at Pal World.
That's a different kind of game.
People are abandoning Pokemon for it. I know this for a fact.
They're not, because it's a different kind of game.
Yeah, people are still talking about Pokemon and still playing Pokemon.
I want you to go to any forum or YouTube.
I'm sure there's plenty of people...
Find me anybody defending Pokemon ZA. They spent no money on it, and it looks like ass. They have no talking in it. And one of the things is supposed to be a rock band.
The DLC was a flop, but the main game wasn't bad.
The main game is ass.
Like, actually, it's like it's one of the better games in that series that has come out in decades. And it's like, and I'm not even alone in that opinion.
I'm sure you're not alone in that opinion. There are people who also like Lord of the Rings Gollum too.
And like, about...
what's that new game that just came out that is being shat on? Oh god. It's the new Mind's Eye, according to people.
Oh, I don't know.
Purple. Code Violet.
Code Violet. Oh, yeah, I did hear something bad about that.
Yeah. It is, and by the way, the developers are assholes too.
Oh, that's great.
No, because they...
I was sarcastic, sorry.
No, I know, I'm just saying, they... Oh god, just hear them regarding reviewers. And the fucking thing is, these people did the same bad game over and over and over again. And some people are saying the worst game of 2026 and maybe the decade. This is the same decade that includes Concord and Mind's Eye.
Yeah. And like,
by the way, people are also joking that we're going to see we're going to see Fable and Forza Horizon 6 before Grand Theft Auto 6.
I mean, it's very likely because legit question. Do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 will actually hit its release date this year, or do you think it's going to be delayed again?
No.
I think it's going to be delayed again.
Actually, there's one thing that makes me think it's not going to be delayed, and that is people are reacting and keeping their games away from a certain time period. Because here's the thing. A lot of things we think are secret are not secret among developers and studios.
That's true.
So
I have a question in regards to Pokemon. Do you remember Golden Axe Beast Rider?
Yeah.
I remember Golden Axe.
So there was
Golden
this game on PS3, Xbox 360 era called Golden Axe Beast Rider, which is in the same franchise. It was done by Sega. But it was like a gritty third-person action reboot of the series.
Yes. It was in 2008.
And people fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Because you took Golden Axe, which had a very distinct 2D battle system, and you made it this gritty, ugly fucking
Pokemon
garbage.
Is not Golden Axe.
Like it was all this. It had all these graphics. And
it probably wasn't the graphics.
Remember you know that Monkey Island reboot that just came out like a little while ago, maybe like a year or two ago?
No, you see,
and the creator didn't do 2D graphics, and everybody kept complaining, and he told them off to listen. I don't, 2D graphics, pixel art didn't matter to him, and people got so upset over his different art style for the Monkey Island game.
Golden Axe Beast Rider looked like crap. That was the reason. It wasn't that it was dark and gritty. It looked like crap. The same thing with, you remember, Bomberman, was it Zero? Bomberman Zero?
Yeah, that sucked too.
It looked like crap. But it wasn't because of the mood of it. It was because it looked like crap.
You know why people thought they looked like crap? Because they didn't look like anything like where they came from.
Because it was dark and muddy. You really couldn't see anything.
Exactly. Not like their original counterparts.
But when you reuse 2005 graphics over and over and over again, people recognize it. Gran Turismo 6 got shit over because they nakedly used cars from the PlayStation 2, and they looked like ass.
I'm just saying an aesthetic stands for something in certain series.
The aesthetics are garbage.
And Pokemon are absolutely one of those series. They
released a $40 DLC, which was just basically solarizing the main city.
Which is tiny. Yeah, that does suck. That was stupid of them. I can admit.
Are you saying that they were lazy there, but not lazy before?
I'm saying that Pokemon Legends ZA, the base game, having played it from beginning to the credits, isn't a bad game at all.
If you say so. That's your opinion.
I do.
And that's but that's not the consensus.
It is.
Anyway, getting back to Beast of Reincarnation. The game looks like that.
Yes.
It looks really good. And it was only a small team. So you have to wonder, what the hell were they spending Pokemon ZA on? Money. You know what they were spending the money for Pokemon ZA on? Themselves. They weren't spending it for the developers. That's for damn sure.
Well, I hear that Pokemon is one of the highest selling IPs ever, so they must have the money.
Yeah, and that's like saying, well, hey, Scott, me and Michael Jordan have 6 NBA rings.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about Pokemon.
Pokemon ZA and the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy DS, the Game Boy 3DS. I don't think Pokemon ever came to the NES, did it? And all those other games and spin-offs like Hey You, Pikachu. I'm going to tell you something. You know how much money those games made? Not much. You know what did make a lot of money? The plush toys and the card games.
But they have money too.
The video game is not there to sell money. It's there to promote new Pokemon. And I can prove this to you.
I'm not.
Did you notice how Pokemon became less and less angular? And became more and more rounded? You know why? Because you can't make an angular plush toy.
Fat Pikachu is literally like a huge part of today's market. Like they love Fat Pikachu.
But you've seen what Pikachu used to look like.
Yeah, Fat Pikachu is what I'm referring to when I say you're talking about the original, when he was more chunky.
Yeah. So So, Scott, you're actually sold on Beast of Reincarnation.
Yes.
I might be too. I might investigate it. Here's the thing:
I
if
don't
it's
think
on the Xbox Developer Direct, you know what that means, right? It's gonna be
I
on
don't think
Game
you'll
Pass.
like it, Jonah. It looks like it plays like Pokemon Legends ZA to me.
No, it doesn't. It looks like Dark Souls to me.
Yeah, even my Steam thing is referring to my Jedi Survivor game in Elden Ring.
I think it's going to be good, though. I do.
It
I
does look
actually do
good.
think that Beast of Reincarnation is going to be a good game.
I
I
don't
mean, when
know
you have the
how it
small
looks like a
teams working on
Pokemon
something,
game.
usually it becomes something good. Like Grounded was never going to be a mainline Obsidian game. It was just this thing that some of the developers were doing as, let's try this out. And then Obsidian said, holy shit, that's actually pretty good. Let's iterate on it and iterate it and iterate on it. What's funny is that...
Oh,
What?
no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the aesthetic of Beast of Reincarnation reminds me of Wild Hearts, the Koei
Yeah.
Tecmo Monster Hunter game.
Yeah. That didn't come out too long ago. It's amazing how fast that game was forgotten.
Yeah, it deserved better than it did, but it didn't do well on PC, and that kind of sealed the deal.
I think Kiln is going to be one of those games that are a party game that everybody plays. To
That
me, like
sounds
one of
right.
those low level party games. It doesn't have that many people playing at once, but it's always the same number of people playing.
That game seems like it should be free to play because it feels like you need to get people in the door
It'll be free to play. It's
early
gonna be on
to
Game
check
Pass.
that out.
It'd be on Game
Yeah,
Pass.
that's true.
I'm
But,
willing to
like,
bet you it's going to be like a $5 game on Steam.
yeah, it feels like you really do need to get a player base in the door to see what it's about as soon as you can.
Well, here's the thing: Double Fine has a cachet. It has its fans. It's going to rely on word of mouth, undoubtedly, and it has Game Pass behind it. What will interest me is how many platforms does it come out for. By the way, one other thing: Fable is not going to be on the Switch, and neither is Beast of Reincarnation. Two games that you'd think would be on the Nintendo platform. Fable is it's like a Zelda game. Oh, by the way, we never discussed it. Yeah, Scott mentioned it before. It's going to be completely open world. The original 3 Fable games were not open world. They were paths that seemed like an open world. They were just links to areas, right?
Yeah, open zone.
Fable's
I
going to be
think.
completely open world.
That'll be interesting to see what they do, how it looks, how it plays out.
And they also reassured us it's going to have the same dry British humor, which is essential for Fable. What I want to know is if they're going to hire John Cleese again. Because he was excellent in Fable 3.
He truly was. I loved him as the butler.
Dressed as a chicken, sir. Where are you going dressed as a chicken?
What do you most want out of this game, Jonah?
I want to see how, because they already mentioned it in that years go by. I want to see how the world changes as the years go by. I remember that Peter Molyneux in the very first Fable game said that when you plant an acorn, a couple of years later you'll have a tree. That never happened in the game, but you did have things progressive. I want to see how far they take the progressiveness of the game. The progression of time passing. Like I said, they already mentioned, you'll have that sticky corpse on the land, draped over the land, this giant that's decomposing, and people will treat you differently because of it. But I want to see how the land reacts.
What about you, Scott? Do you have any expectations of a new Fable that you would want the most?
What I would want the most is to feel like a serious fantasy Fable story. The idea that this giant, you have
Wait
a choice.
Stop, Scott. Serious?
Yes.
Fable is not a serious game. Well, actually, that's not entirely true.
Yeah, you start the first game or the second game by having your sister killed.
No, the point is, sister doesn't get killed. She turns into Teresa, remember?
Oh, yeah. Wait, yes.
But the thing is that the best plot twist in Fable 3 was the entire game was about you usurping your brother. You get to your brother says, yeah, well, you can have it. It's yours. I don't care. Because his beginning speech in that game sounded like a mad tyrant, but he was actually talking about, I must be hard or my people will die. No, he was being literal. He has to work his people hard because this black nothingness was coming, and he had to get as much money out of them as possible to save his own people. So you had that. All of a sudden, you're in your brother's face, and you're this. You see, that's why. That's why
Yes.
my brother was behaving that way. Oh, that was the
Yes.
best. That was the best plot twist. I love because when I was about to usurp my brother, I was like, this game feels like it's 1/3 over. It doesn't feel like the ending of a game. But yeah, as you're saying, Scott, you also want to see you want to see. Well, you said you want to see more of the RPG aspects.
Yes. I want to feel like I have choices that matter, and that like I'll just. I mean, the trailer does seem to indicate that your choices will matter and it'll affect the world. And I saw the character kick a chicken, so we'll see
You become a
what
chicken
happens
chaser.
there.
No, you get the title Chicken Chaser, just like in Fable
Okay.
3. Oh, Chicken Chaser!
Yeah.
Hello, Chicken Chaser. The other thing that's in it, by the way, and they make sure that you do that thing in which you do your menial job, in which you're just pounding an anvil to make money. It's a key essential part of Fable. It's funny when Fable I think it was Fable 2 that did it. When Fable 2, or did they do that in first Fable? Anyways, when Fable did it, people thought that it was going to be the most boring stuff in the world, and yet people invested so much time banging that anvil, chopping the wood, all these things, and they really enjoyed it. They started an entire new game mechanic, the boring job game mechanic.
Yeah, and like that got picked up and moved into a whole lot of other games. Like immersive sim wasn't really a word that like a phrase that was thrown around that much, and Fable kind of popularized a lot of that. Like just last year, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Doing menial jobs in that game is actually a really easy way to pass a lot of time really quickly.
Well,
And
remember what became huge? I don't know if Fable came before or after. I think it came before. But World of Warcraft, fishing became the big thing in World of Warcraft.
yes, sir.
And that was just you standing there with a rod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree. I hope that stuff is back in there and
It is back in there. They showed it in the trailer.
Well, yeah, sure, but like I hope it feels as fun as it was before, or expanded. I want to see like what their version of it will be.
I wonder if I'm going to try and buy up every single property in the land. By the way, you can do that and then evict everybody, so everybody's homeless.
I need a treasure room. I need a treasure room.
By the way, they showed that if you buy a house and you evict someone, they're there on the street and they're really angry at you.
Yes, but the thing I need most out of this game is cool legendary weapons and equipment, and I need a treasure room, like a vault, to store them all. Because the thing that I loved most about Fable 2 and Fable 3 was collecting legendary weapons and gear and all the different things that they do and the way that they fit into your game plan one way or the other, or change it. Like, I loved that shit in Fable 3. Like, I love that they went all in on that with, like, every single, like, gun and sword could be, like, something crazy.
You know how much this is? It's almost an hour. It's 53 minutes now. We've been talking about the Xbox the Xbox Developer Direct for a lot of time now.
Yeah.
So,
but, like, by extension, if I'm allowed to own property and, like, customize that property to my liking, I want to be able to make, like, a museum of legendary artifacts.
I want to buy up every property and then kick everybody out and see if everybody's homeless.
Just vacant buildings with people.
And buildings all over, and everybody's on the street, including the people that work for me. And by the way, you can pick up one of the people from the town and say, "Hey, you want to work for me?" Sure, and they'll be working in your shop. There's no longer you buy an existing business, and the person who's working there is always working for you. No, now you can buy a business and just hire anybody you like. And then you can have bigamy and trigamy and quadrigamy. You can have 20 wives, 10 husbands. Let's move on to the next item. Go ahead, TJ.
All right. Ubisoft closes 2 studios and cancels 6 projects. And I'd like to point out right away that one of them is Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake.
Yes, we're gonna see that right there.
Ubisoft is closed. Yep. From Eurogamer. Ubisoft has closed 2 studios and canceled 6 projects, including its much delayed Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, as part of a major restructuring effort that will also see delays for 7 games. The moves are part of what Ubisoft calls a major organizational, operational, and portfolio reset.
Okay, let's take a time out here. This is what happens when you're a piece of shit company.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when you run your company to the ground with bad ideas.
And say shit like gamers should be used to not owning games.
Yeah. NFTs are going to be the future.
Yeah.
As it looks to respond to a more persistently more selective AAA market and an increasingly competitive shooter landscape.
What? They gave up on the quadruple A game? Like
Skull and Crossbones, man. It's the new thing.
Their quadruple A game.
The restructuring will see the publisher split its efforts across 5 creative houses, respectively focused on the scaling and extending of its biggest properties, including Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six.
Hold on a second. Since when did they do anything new with Rainbow Six? I mean, I know they have the occasional, operator pack.
They made Rainbow Six Siege X and treated it like it was a new game. Really, it was just a glorified new season, but they treated it like it was a new game, and that's what matters. But on competitive and cooperative shooter experiences, The Division, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, on live experiences...
That's another thing. Wait. I'm still shocked that The Division is still going on. They just announced their new Brooklyn DLC.
Yep. And they've been talking about, Division 3 is pretty much everything but announced at this point, even though the creative director of the series just moved over to Battlefield Studios.
Ghost Recon and Splinter Cell since when?
Yeah. And on live experiences, For Honor, The Crew, Riders Republic, Brawlhalla, and Skull and Bones. Brawlhalla is the only thing here that I'm...
dead. Riders Republic is mediocre. Skull and Crossbones is a wet fart. And For Honor just attracts neo-Nazis.
For Honor is an amalgam, or an anomaly.
Yeah, no one ever plays the one-on-one in For Honor. They always play the team game.
Brawlhalla is the only one of these that actually has real clout behind it. On immersive fantasy worlds and narrative-driven universes, Anno, Might and Magic, Rayman, Prince of Persia, Beyond Good and Evil, and
okay, let's call some bullshit here. Whoa. Okay, Anno, it's great. I mean, Anno Pax Romana has gotten a lot of praise. The usual nitpicks from people, strategy games always has their nitpickers. Scott knows this. Beyond Good and Evil since when?
I'm quietly waiting for them to...
Rayman since when?
At this point, I expect nothing from Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm just waiting for them to go ahead and tell me what I already know.
No, it's just going to be an open world piece of shit.
I don't think it's going to be anything. I don't think it's ever coming out.
It's going to be an open world piece of shit. It's going to be like Skull and Crossbones.
It's going to be a lost dream.
Hell, apparently.
It's going to be a lost dream. That's all it will ever be to me, until they prove me otherwise.
Might and Magic, I'd like to think so. They're coming out with the new Might and Magic. It looks cool. I played it a bit. It's fine. It's Might and Magic. We'll see how it is.
How the hell can a company sit on this much good IP and suck that much?
I don't know. Here's the thing. Rayman.
EA.
Rayman runs circles around. Rayman runs circles around Mario.
It should be, but it hasn't in almost a decade because it hasn't had a new game.
That's really sad. Rayman is one of the more interesting characters, I think, with a nice world, and all they do is the raving rabbits.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The only thing that Rayman has given us lately is raving rabbits. At least they're doing... Look, I'll say this. Raving rabbits gave us XCOM for Nintendo. Because the Mario and Raving Rabbids game, they made 2 of them, in which it's just XCOM. And it's XCOM without the 99% misses.
Yes.
If you can see it, you can hit it. That's it.
And like the ultimate insult is that Rayman ends up being a guest character in his own game, in his own franchise.
Yeah.
That's just
like,
bad.
like, yeah.
But that's not exactly uncommon.
Sure,
Have,
but not.
have
But
main
you don't
characters.
usually see a Rayman franchise guest starring Rayman.
I don't know. You see Homestar Runner guest starring Homestar Runner.
Yeah, but that's different because it's funny and cool. There's nothing funny and cool about what Ubisoft is doing these days.
Moving on.
Amid this major shakeup, Ubisoft has confirmed the cancellation of 6 in-development games. It says do not meet the enhanced quality and more selective portfolio prioritization criteria, whatever the fuck
Yeah, you know
that
what?
means.
That reminds me of remember that Sims game that was canceled by Paradox Interactive,
Yes.
and it almost happened to Bloodlines too. You know,
Rough.
Here's the thing: a lot of people dump on Bloodlines 2, but I love the story. It's a really great story, and you know what's interesting is that when Dragon Age, the Veilguard came to EA Pass, people started playing it, and people said, "Hey, wait, this is actually pretty good."
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how many video games get shat on by people who haven't actually played it.
Yeah. But
So
you
here's the thing.
gotta let me get to the end of this one. I hate reading this. It's horrible. 4 of these titles have never been announced, 3 being new IPs and 1 being a mobile game. And the only canceled title, as it explicitly named, was Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, which was unveiled in 2020 and which has suffered multiple delays in the years since then. When we last heard of the remake, Ubisoft had narrowed its release window down between January 1st and March 31st. As such, its cancellation is unexpected.
Yeah,
Yes,
wait.
absolutely.
I think that was unexpected or expected.
Unexpected. Like,
Well, here's the thing. When something happens like that with Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, I have to think it's the developer and not the publisher that fucked it over. I sincerely do, because that's what happens. That's what happened with Bloodlines 2. People who started the game dicked around. That canceled Sims Light game, it got dicked around.
that would, yeah, but this eventually moved over to Ubisoft Montreal. So, like,
That's
the
the other
killer
thing.
is
How do
in
you
the
fuck up a
building.
remake?
Yeah, you had your own groundwork to work with. You're working in house.
Nobody understands that one. They feel like it's bullshit and that something messed up bad. I don't know how.
It's confounding. I don't understand what Ubisoft is doing. The only thing that would make sense to me is that maybe Yves Guillemot is trying to sink the company so bad that they can take it private.
Who knows what Life by You could have been like?
Because it's confounding how stupid these decisions are. Ubisoft is trash. Like, nobody deserves to sit on that much good material and just let it rot. Let it rot and languish and turn into garbage while, like, the rest of the company laughs at, or the rest of the industry laughs at you.
Well, here's the thing. Remember Life by You? That was the canceled Sims game by Paradox Interactive, right? Remember, there's also Inzoi, which was released and turned out to be the worst piece of shit that you ever saw. So either you cancel a piece of shit game, or you release a piece of shit game. Which is better, or which is worse?
I don't know, man, because, like, I do want to see Beyond Good and Evil 2 come out someday. I just have no faith in the company running it anymore.
I mean, well, we're going to get to it in a moment, so let's move on to the next item. Marathon sourced to Steam's top sellers after release date revealed. Marathon has swiftly climbed to Steam's top sellers list following the reveal of its March 5th release date. Bungie's Extraction shooter, which has up till now lived in the realm of closed betas and behind closed doors tests, was made available for pre-order overnight. In these midnight hours, many wallets were opened by key members of the Republic, landing on the number 7 spot. It currently is currently behind Arc Raiders at 3rd. There's also EA Sports FC, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Those 3 are currently well ranking due to substantial discounts on the PC marketplace, and Marathon is currently retailing for $40. It's funny. People complain all this about Marathon, and yet they're still willing to do a pre-release, pre-order. I think part of it is that they know they can always refund it, but there's just so much you can play before you can refund it.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised to see it.
By the way, it's also near the top of the PlayStation 5 sales pre-order list too.
I am truly surprised to see that because I don't know what people see in the Marathon remake.
I mean, it's Bungie. It's an extraction shooter. It's not something endless like Destiny.
Do people really want another extraction shooter though? Like, there's already quite a few that just came out, right? We got Arc Raiders.
Here's the thing: you can have extraction shooters. You can have good extraction shooters. I don't care how many versions of it there is. If it's good, people will play it. Let's look at World of Warcraft. There were tons of MMOs when World of Warcraft came out. World of Warcraft was good.
I've always wondered, like, who the Marathon remake was made for.
Halo
because
fans.
It doesn't sound like it was made for Marathon fans.
Halo fans.
It looks.
Halo
I've looked at the old Marathon games a lot at this point, and I keep looking at them and looking at this and thinking, man, if I was like a really hardcore Marathon fan, I'd be kind of pissed.
Helldivers 2 was also for Halo fans. Even when it was released on PlayStation, it was for Halo fans. It was sort of like nudge, nudge. Well, we have our own version of Halo, which made it such a natural fit when it came to Xbox. It's like, hey, Halo ODST fans, you want to play some Helldivers? Yes. Hey, if it looks like Halo and acts like Halo, but it's not Halo, who cares?
I guess, I don't know any Marathon fans, like hardcore Marathon fans, so I don't really know.
Marathon Durandal was released on Xbox Live Arcade.
Huh. Did that look anything like this? Because the first 3 games certainly.
Oh no, it was one of the. See, Apple made their own. Bungie made their own shooters on the Apple Marathon, and then when they moved over to Microsoft, they basically made Halo, which is in the same universe as Marathon. Which, by the way, Destiny sort of kind of hints it's in the same universe as Halo. Remember in Halo 3 ODST, they had the what would be the Destiny logo and the sphere. Sort of like they were advertising for that game even as far back as Halo 3 ODST.
Well, good for Marathon, because it didn't seem like it had much steam coming out of last year, and now people are suddenly pushing it up the sales list. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah. This next item should be accompanied by the Jaws theme. Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. Nintendo president is carefully considering the situation around memory prices as research firm predicts Switch 2 price hike. Oh boy. In response to rising prices of RAM and storage in 2026, the Nintendo Switch 2 may be set to become more expensive. This is according to research from Nico Partners in its 2026 prediction post. Nico Partners says, "We believe the Switch 2 is set to follow in Sony and Microsoft's footsteps with its own price hike driven by impact from tariffs, increased memory costs, and broader macroeconomic conditions." The report goes on to point out that the Nintendo chose to keep the $449 price point last year despite tariffs impacting production, and it suggests that Nintendo may instead choose to remove the cheapest Switch bundle. This would make buying a Nintendo Switch more expensive, but only for those looking for a console by itself. If you buy the console in a bundle, it could cost the same, according to this prediction. Tied to potential price hike, Nintendo President Shintaro Fukawa spoke to Kyoto Shimbun last week. Thanks again, VGC, for the spot. In that interview, Fukawa said, machine translated, "We procure the suppliers based on our medium to long-term business plans, but the current memory market is very volatile. There is no immediate impact on earnings, but it is something we must monitor closely."
That's corporate speak for, the prices are going to go up.
Yeah. This is
Hey, remember when I said 2 weeks ago we're in a video game crash? Well, guess what? We're in a video game crash.
This memory issue has been a serious problem. And
yeah, by the way, that reminds me. Remember the Amazon? It wasn't Jeff Bezos, but someone else from Amazon was talking about how there was just so much they could do to prevent themselves, because Amazon managed to keep themselves relatively inexpensive.
It's been multiple CEOs saying that they want the whole AI thing to people to respect it and use it. And
no, this is about prices in Amazon, and it's sort of like they're saying, well, we're trying our best to keep our prices, but at some point we're going to have to do price hikes at Amazon because of the tariffs.
The other thing that Jeff Bezos said is that he hopes to achieve a place where people don't own their PCs anymore. They rent them and play through the cloud.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Good luck with that, Jeff. It's not going to happen.
And like this memory thing is a serious problem for everybody, because like the PC building market is getting fucked by this. It's building your own PC right now skyrocketed in cost.
But what's really nice is that the old cards are good enough.
Yeah, yes. Did you see that Nvidia is like they had retired the 30 series and now they're bringing it back because like they can't keep up with
also the prices. They have warehouses of unsold crappy RAMs that they want to pawn off on us too.
Yeah. We're pulling out old chips and old technology because of this crisis where everything is just skyrocketed in price to insane amounts because of how much they're trying to work on this stupid AI trend.
Yeah, I think there's going to be more than just a game crash. I think there's going to be a lot of things crashing real soon.
I'm glad I future-proofed my PC but here's the thing: it still has an internal Blu-ray drive. Name a PC that has that still.
I might be in trouble.
I have a PC that has an internal memory drive. What are you talking about?
An internal disk drive, Blu-ray drive.
Yeah, that does help.
I might be in trouble because I got my work laptop in about 2019. I got a 3070 Ti in it, but a couple of years ago when Stalker 2 came out, I started seeing that my auto detect was giving me medium settings, and first off I was like, no, why? Stop. But I've been thinking about upgrading for a couple of years now, and I think I missed my window.
I'm not going to make it a laptop. I mean, I was considering it for travel, but I still use my desktop even just to burn DVDs, and I can still play the best games,
I'm pretty good on desktop. Plus, I play indie games, so usually they're not that demanding to begin with.
That's another thing that's going to...
I need to get a laptop if I'm going to get something new, because it has to be for my work, and I travel a lot. So, I don't know.
And
I don't know.
By the way,
I don't know what I'm going to do about that.
Sony's investigating console multi-platform more.
Yeah.
I mean, people are saying, well, Microsoft is doing multi-platform. Well, guess what? Sony is too. Did you think that Helldivers 2 was going to be the first or the last? No. And notice that Microsoft too, the games that they're doing multi-platform are the games that can slot in DLC a lot. You may get it for free on Game Pass, but guess what? If you want that expansion, gotta pay for it.
Yeah. And taking this back to Nintendo for a second, like the wording that he gave, along with previous stuff that they've said about the supplies they have, like they stocked up before the tariffs hit. So this medium to long-term business plan thing, I'm expecting that probably lasts for maybe 1 or 2 quarters. I don't think that the Nintendo Switch 2 stays the same price by Christmas, though.
But here's the problem. No one's going to buy a $500 Switch 2 because already sales are down 35% in the U.S. They're going to buy it in Japan because, hey, no tariff. But they're not buying it in Europe either. It's down 16%. And the problem is that they don't have any games. They had Donkey Kong as a big seller, and then it just flatlined. I mean, say what you want about the Legend of Zelda game, but it's not sold well.
Wait, Age of Calamity.
It's not sold well.
It got over 1 million. They just
Yeah, that's not what.
announced that
That's
this.
far below their expectations. Um, according, and this is from June, below our lowest estimates.
Hmm.
And here's the thing: it's coming at the worst time for them. But a lot of people, I mean, this has always happened with Nintendo. When the developers have been running the company, the people who actually work in tech and make games, it's done really well. When the businessmen have been running it like they do now, it tanks. It's classic. It's always been Nintendo's thing. Creators running it, sales are up. Businessmen running it, sales drop. Creators running it, sales go up. Now businessmen are running it again, sales go down. It's a constant pattern in Nintendo's life.
Well, regardless of how you feel about how they do with
Not
their
how I feel,
software,
it's how I know. These are not
it's
my opinions, it's the facts.
I think that the price goes up by Christmas is the bottom line of what I'm here of what
I
I'm
think the
reading
price
here.
is going to go up by mid-year, by June.
I think it lasts at least 1 or 2 quarters where it stays the same. We'll be able to make it to Q3, I imagine.
I'm not going to talk about tariffs because it leads us down a dark path. What I will say is that if things keep on going the way they are, I'm willing to bet you anything. June will be when everything raises prices because that's the end of the quarter.
Yeah, that would be that would be close enough to Q3.
I miss E3. I miss E3. Even though it was a piece of shit the last few years, I still miss it. I still miss going to LA. Because basically, when I went to E3, it wasn't to see the games; it was to just meet people I don't only meet like once a year.
Yeah, and I don't really feel like there's anything quite like that in America and the United States anymore.
It's like, you know what? It's like I remember when you're a young child and you're at your first E3. I introduced you to the lead developer of Rainbow Six Siege, and your mouth dropped open and you were completely amazed. It was like you were meeting someone who you never thought you'd meet. And now you're just talking to these individuals. Yeah, whatever. See you. Oh, Mike, hey, I like it. Michael Pachter. I know him very well. He's a dude, bro. He's the kind of guy who just screams. I was at a well, I already know it's true, but he acts like someone who just came out of a frat house. He's a stockbroker. Of course, he's a frat bro. I was friends with the marketing manager of LucasArts. I met Richard Garriott several times. He's a good ball. And I made friends with Tim Schafer. So, yeah. So it's just the people you meet there. Oh, yeah, I remember. I couldn't do something. You thankfully got me the mug that was at the Bethesda thing because I did not have time to do
Bethesda Land. That was so dope.
I still have that mug too.
I have one version. Yeah, I have mine right here as well.
Yep. Now it's just PAX Unplugged that I do. That I meet people that I saw them get to meet, and these are
the Elder Scrolls. Oh my god, it's dirty.
I still have up there from 2015 or 2014 these Funko Pops of Bethesda properties.
Yeah, that year, they also produced a. They also produced. It was the year of the first.
That was the
Doom.
year they announced Fallout Shelter, if I remember correctly.
That was also the year of Doom 2016, and they had a glass that they were serving drinks in, and it had a skull shape inside the glass.
You probably got that, didn't you?
I did, but it was such thin glass it broke. I broke it. I was so sad about that.
Yeah, it was. No, Fallout Shelter was in 2015.
Yeah, this was 2016 because that was Doom.
Yeah, I remember being there, and it's like, oh yeah, we're announcing Fallout Shelter, and guess what? You can play it now on your iPad, which I had. I had an iPad at the time. Don't play Fallout Shelter on a console. It's not very good. It's hard to control. Play it on PC or a tablet. we're reminiscing too much. Look for our show notes at gamingpodcast.net, along with industry news at our gaming history articles. We enjoy feedback. So leave comments on our blog at facebook.com. Facebook. No, you comments on our blog at gamingpodcast.net, and also set up at facebook.com/gamingpodcast. Subscribe to us on Podbean and leave some Podbean comments. You can find me at Blue Sky at Jonah Falcon.
You can find me at Johnny Chugs.
You can find me at Chart the Sage.
And we will see you next week.
Happy gaming, everyone.
Have fun, be cool, play games, y'all.
The stream is over. Bye.